Only been a few hours, but it felt like days. Only been days, but it felt like months. We gone for a year, only know like once. Life move fast when you do what you want.
Hey y'all, welcome back to Dream Bigger Live Larger podcast. I am your host, Adeline Lees. And today we are doing something a little different when it comes to, each episode of our podcast. So I am starting a new series called Spring Cleaning, okay? So when you think of spring cleaning, you're thinking of, things that you want to keep, things that you want to throw away, but also the season is changing. We just entered spring. So it's time to, do a little cleaning up and also a little fixing as well. So we are going to enter 4 categories, and I'm going to speak about 4 categories. It's going to be about yourself, your relationships, your goals, and your careers. Okay? So, like I said, this is something new that I'm bringing to the platform, and I hope you guys enjoy. This is Dream Bigger Live Larger podcasting. All right. So, child, we just entered spring. I live in New York, so I don't even feel like it. I feel like I'm still in winter. So it's literally 40 degrees outside as I'm speaking to you. So I'm not feeling the spring weather yet, but I'm in the spirit, I got my little bright colors, my little nice pink scarf and my bright orange dress. I'm, entering the season, all right? So, spring cleaning, right? So, the series that I wanted to introduce to this platform is basically thinking of how we are going to be able to change within ourselves, within our relationships, within our career, and within our goals, right? So, I wrote down, I said, we are entering the second quarter of the year, April 1st to June 30th, which is the second quarter. This is basically entering spring to summer season. It is time that we clean out the things that is getting old or just not fulfilling. Or not only throwing things away, but fixing certain things. Okay? So let's start with part 1. Spring cleaning yourself. So when it comes down to spring cleaning yourself, you're probably like, girl, I'm gonna need you to elaborate because what are you talking about right now? So I wrote down, think about the things that you want to keep or throw away. You're stepping into quarter 2. What is something you are changing within yourself? Okay. So I'm going to give you some type of like examples. All right. Let's talk about morning routines. Everyone that I've known has a job. Doesn't matter what you do, you still have a job. Still have to wake up early in the morning, get yourself ready, be about your day. Now, let's talk about morning routines. The days are now, the sun is getting longer. So the sun is getting longer. The days are getting longer. The sun is out even more. And, now we're not in this seasonal depression mood. Now it's time for like, okay, how can we get up in the morning and start our day in a positive way? So I wrote down morning routines, right? What time do you get up? What do you do besides scrolling on the phone? What do you listen to in the morning? What do you drink? You know what I'm saying? So when it comes down to spring cleaning, let's clean up the way our mornings are. Let's clean up the way we wake up. Okay. So if we want to meditate in the morning, if the first thing we do, of course, I do it as well, is scroll. As soon as I get up, I turn off my alarm, and then it's a habit to just scroll, 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 scroll. So that is something that I'm cleaning up within the spring cleaning session. I'm cleaning up my morning routine. The first thing I do in the morning, instead of me going straight into the bathroom, I am going to, go to the kitchen, drink a nice room temperature bottle of water, and think about, what am I going to eat for breakfast? What am I going to eat for lunch? And just basically set the tone, right? The first thing I do, I get my iPad, I put it in the kitchen, and I start, watching things that suits me, whether it's the news, whether it's a vlog, whatever that's going to keep my morning calm, beautiful, relaxed, positive. I like to set the tone because I am going to be working an 8-hour shift at my 9 to 5. I mean, well, yeah, my 9 to 5. So I want to make sure that I am okay before I'm entering the building. Okay. So that's something I'm cleaning up. I'm polishing my morning routines. Okay. I also wrote down, how do I regulate my day to day? One thing I've realized now that, I'm getting older is that you make your day, right? You make your day. So I wrote down, how do I handle my emotions when things are not going my way? What can I do to fix it? So instead of me crashing out like I usually do, instead of me cursing people out like I usually do, I am learning how to regulate my feelings and set the tone for myself of how to make sure my day is not ruined by minor things. Okay, I don't want to blow things out of proportion. I don't want to make things bigger than what it is. I just want to make sure that even though something is not going my way, I'm not going to let it ruin my day. Okay? So, how do we regulate our emotions our day to day? Especially girls, girls, especially if we're on our cycle, because we do tend to be like rah, rah, rah sometimes when, things are not going our way. We get very emotional, we get upset. It's just, what can we do to make our day better? Okay? Because granted, every day is not sunshines and rainbows. But I'm not saying to just sweep things under the rug either. But it's okay to be upset, but not for too long. What is the solution? Okay? Give us about couple I could say an hour or two for minor things, right? Not even an hour, that's too long. Like a good 15-30 minutes to get our emotions out, to crash out a little bit for minor things. Things that we cannot control, it is what it is. Okay? You cannot stay and linger on that topic and let it ruin your whole day. So learn how to regulate your emotions. Learn how to basically tap in to feeling that feeling, but also not staying in that feeling. Okay? Something else I wrote down is, what are we doing with our diet? How are we eating? Okay? Are we eating clean? I don't believe in diet. Okay? I believe in eating clean. I believe in substituting things that we are used to things that are healthier. Okay? So people are like, oh, that's a diet. I feel like a diet is a strict program that you are like, really, like, there's no leeway. There's no what am I like? What's the word I'm looking for? There's no substitute. Like, I'm gonna eat strictly for every single day, like even on the weekends. And that is sometimes for me. I'm gonna be very personal. For me, that is not realistic. I want to eat cleaner, but also treat myself when it's time, especially when I'm in my menstrual cycle. So on the foods you eat, right? I wrote down: are you balancing your everyday meals? Are you being disciplined and consistent with the type of diet you chose for this year? And also treating yourself. Are you going out once a month, twice a month? Are you eating out every other weekend or every weekend? Like, how are you balancing your meals? We live in a society that, fast food will always take over, right? But we are adults and we have free will. We can't just eat fast food every single day, right? Because as we get older, our body starts to change. So what we used to eat when we were 16 might not digest well when we're 30, when we're 31, 32, 40. It doesn't matter, right? So we have to learn how to eat clean. So whether you're meal prepping, whether you're adding more vegetables to your diet, more fruits, drinking a lot of water, what are you doing? Like, are you cleaning? What when it comes to the spring cleaning, um, how are you cleaning your diet? How are you cleaning the food you eat? What are you substituting? What are you making um things for yourself to get better? You know what I'm saying? So what is that you're doing that you're basically I can say basically throwing out things that are not suitable for you and bringing in things that are healthier for you. That's what I mean. So when it's times for spring cleaning, it's all different aspects of your day-to-day life, right? It's about how you wake up in the morning. It's about how you regulate your emotions. It's about what you eat and also exercising. Are you moving your body consistently? Are you taking the stairs instead of the elevator? Are you power walking? Are you riding the bicycle instead of, taking public transportation or taking your car to work? What are you doing? You know what I'm saying? So it's all about out with the old, in with the new. And when it comes to spring cleaning, that is the topic. That is what we're aiming for because we're out with the old, in with the new. Okay? I'm not telling you have to have a 360 of a change, but it's just the small things in your life that you could change. Your everyday situation, what are you changing to make yourself better? And I love that I, came up with this segment because obviously we are in the second quarter of the year and we don't want to forget about our goals, but we also want to implement it in our day-to-day life. Okay? And when it comes down to spring cleaning, think of it as changing. Think of it as fixing, polishing your everyday life, you know, limiting the things that are not fulfilling anymore, the things that are draining you or just not in a positive light. Think about that. So, yeah, it's a little short, little part one of spring cleaning yourself. This is, yeah, what I want to speak about. And I hope you guys enjoy it. I hope I was clear with my message. And I hope that you understand and, everything that all the tips and things I've explained throughout this episode. I hope you guys take it and implement that into your everyday life, you know? So that's all that I have for you for this week's episode. Do not forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share. And yeah, love you guys. Bye.